So I just showed you how to respond to text. Now this is, let's say you pick up the phone, you're like, oh, you're just not paying attention. Hello. And then, oh, I heard what happened. Oh, I heard this happen. What, how you doing? Da, 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 da. I've been going through stuff too. And you have no idea of my week's been. And now all of a sudden it's this. Listen, hold on. I don't mean to interrupt you. I don't want to be rude, but I'm not in a place right now to give counsel. And they may not like it. Well, what do you mean? We're supposed to, I gotta go. No is a complete sentence. It's 2 letters. That's it. N-O. No. And people who love you will understand. So they'll say, oh, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. But if people continue to push, they're selfish. Nope. Not the one. Not today. Not the one for it. Understand that there's a biblical difference. Oh, this is big. Because I'll say, well, wait a minute. What about, Bible says we're supposed to be peacemakers. You're just setting it up for an argument. Understand that there's a biblical difference between peacemakers and peacekeepers. See, peacemakers are healthy. Peacemakers look to restore and reconcile relationships. Peacekeepers look to avoid conflict. It's not the same. We're not the same. I'm not here to keep your peace. Okay. I have no problem being a peacemaker, but I am not a peacekeeper, especially if it's not of God. I'm not here to keep your peace. Go to the Prince of Peace for that. That's not me. I'm not here to make you feel better or avoid confrontation. That's not what I'm here to do. You don't have to like it, but that's it. Peacekeepers look to avoid conflict, and they do so a lot of times at the cost of their own mental health or even the health of another. I will often ask this question to peacekeepers: whose peace are you keeping? That blows their mind. Well, what do you mean? Well, it's not your own. Usually it's the individual who's chaotic, the one causing problems. That's the person. You're keeping their peace because you don't have peace and nobody else does, but the person who's toxic does. So whose peace are you keeping? Everybody else has to sacrifice their peace for the toxic. No, that's toxic. We don't do that, but yet we do that in these church settings, and we call it love because we don't know better. Now you do. Whose peace are you keeping? Peacekeepers struggle with emotional toil. They do, because they're carrying the burden of bad behavior, the bad behavior of another individual. And to avoid a tantrum and the confrontation, they will yield to the very thing that they're supposed to be stopping. Let them tantrum, let them accuse, let them judge, whatever else they're going to do. Just let them do it. They're going to do it. Let them be venomous. Let them spit whatever they're going to spit, because the fruit of a person always comes out when you refuse to agree or engage. Let them carry their own feelings to the Father. It's like, bye now. That's what you do when it comes to that level of carrying, because emotional toil doesn't just exist with grief. It also exists with anger. And especially in households where there's alcoholism, or households where there's a chaotic family member, or a household where there's rebellion, or, whatever it is, the peace that you are keeping is really the peace of the chaotic individual. And as a result, they never learn how to respond to boundaries, because they violate every boundary and everybody wants you to let them do that. So that way there's no confrontation. But meanwhile, everybody else is in turmoil, and that is not God's way. That's not God's way. So I want to pray for you, because we are doing this on these channels. I have extra time. So I want to pray for you, because I want you to understand. I want you to examine, are you doing this in your life? Is this something that you didn't realize that you tend to do? Make people feel better about their feelings, people that hurt you, and now you're trying to make them feel better, so you minimize what you brought up. Maybe you call it peace when you're keeping chaos instead of peace. When you process other people's feelings and become their counselor when you're hurting yourself. If these are things that you do, You need to get out of that cycle because you're not going to grow. You're not going to grow.